some people might be concerned that when I say we need to change the culture and get rid of the family center, they think I'm anti-family. And nothing could be further from the truth. When we center the culture on Christ, that doesn't diminish at all the role of the family in our Heavenly Father's plan. And it doesn't diminish the role of the family as a central building block for society here in mortality. It doesn't diminish the family as a central building block for the eternity to come. When we talk about the family, it's a very important part of our Heavenly Father's plan for His children. And having a culture centered on Christ does in no way diminish that. And here's why I say this. Some years ago, I worked in a place where I could meet people from all over the world. And some of the people that I met were from China. And these people that I met, became friends with, were Buddhists. Now, Buddhists are, they're accepting of family, and in fact, they're very promoting of the family. In fact, this one married couple that I knew, very strong in the Buddhist tradition, but, they were also very strong family people. I mean, they believed very much in the family. So they were not pro-Christ, but they were, because they were Buddhist, but they were pro-family. And that's why I say, when you're going to be centering a culture on Christ, you don't have to worry about, diminishing the role of the family. Is that going to be a problem? Because it's not going to be a problem. Because how can you be pro-Christ and be anti-family? Seriously, how can you be pro-Christ and be anti-family? It's impossible. I mean, if you're pro-Christ, then by definition, you are pro-family. Because Christ is pro-family. Now, you can, be anti-Christ and be pro-family or anti-family. I mean, that's possible. But if you are pro-Christ, then you cannot be anything else but pro-family. That's just the way that it goes. And so there's nothing that's going to diminish the role of the family when we move the center of our culture away from the family and move it toward Christ. And really, when you think about it, our culture should be centered on Christ. It should have been centered on Christ to begin with. We should have had this. I mean, think about all the things that you read about in the scriptures and about how everything is centered on Christ. The family is an important part of our Heavenly Father's plan, but the plan itself is centered on Christ. The prophet Joseph taught that the atonement of Jesus Christ is the central core part of our Heavenly Father's plan. It's a central core part of the gospel. And everything else in the gospel is but an appendage to it. So, we see that Christ is really the center of the doctrine. It's the center of our Heavenly Father's plan. It should also be the center of our culture, but it hasn't been. Howdy, peeps. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Join the Journey radio program. And if you did, be sure to click subscribe so you can get more clips in the future. And be sure to check out the Join the Journey radio program broadcast every Wednesday night on the Join the Journey radio network. Find more information at jointhejourneyradio.com.